So I just wanted to give a little rundown of my script here. It's a RunTime tree remover. It will remove any tree that is painted on the terrain. So if we look at the terrain here, you can see this is a tree that's been painted on here. So these are not placed in the hierarchy. They're actually painted on the terrain. And so the script is made to remove those kind of trees. It won't remove a tree that's in the hierarchy. It'll only remove anything that is placed here. So even if it's not a tree, if it's any kind of object, if it's painted on like a terrain tree, this script will remove it. So if we go here, we go down to the script, there's a selection for simple destroy. So if you just turn that on, you see it'll just destroy the trees. And I just remembered these trees actually have colliders on them. So one thing we want to make sure as well is that there's actually no collider on the tree itself. And as you saw, if there's a collider that is on the prefab before we go into the instance, the collider will get in the way. Now there's still a collider because the script adds its own collider, and we remove it when we press F, which is the default key. Now if we go back to the script here, we turn off simple destroy. I've got it set up so that this is, and in here I've got a simple example of how you can do this on your own. This is an animation, so this will start the chopping animation and this will stop it. So now if we press play, you can see I've got sticks and logs set up. Right now I think these are just going to drop the logs. And the way that works is you see I just got a very simple animation set up here. And I guess we were using those trees as the logs, and that's why they're standing up like that. But if you have a rigid body on that log, it will actually fall over like a physics object. And these log objects, you can have any script you want on them. So you can't put scripts on the terrain trees themselves, but once you chop them down, the object that's left behind, you can put whatever you want on those. Oh, they do have physics objects. Okay, just took a minute for it to fall over. So you can see the shadow, the animation playing, and so it's set for 3 seconds right now. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you would use it. You got some settings here. Now to change what kind of thing drops, you'll notice in the console, each tree you hit has an index number. Okay, so as you can see in the debug log, and so that's showing us the numbers. And so it's dropping anything above 700, so it's dropping logs. And so you'd want to test to see which trees you're using, and that will determine which object drops. Now if we go back to my scene here, I just want to show you how it's working with my trees. So I have these smaller trees, they're dropping sticks. And I've determined which numbers are being placed by Map Magic. I'm using Map Magic with this. So it does work with Map Magic, possibly other plugins as well. You can see the trees are dropping logs. We get a log from that tree. And you see I'm still getting very good performance even though it's put colliders on everything, on all the trees, but it's put them all into this parent object here. And so I'll fly a bit of ways here to show you how to work on multiple trees. And not just at the start of the scene, but it'll work on thousands and thousands of trees. Which I think if you were trying to do thousands of trees that were choppable as game objects in the hierarchy, you would probably run into some performance issues, which is why I wrote the script in the first place. These trees work. Let's fly all the way to the other end of the island. This should be good enough to make a point. There we go, we're chopping a tree. Oh, and see the bush, I currently have the bushes set up to the same thing as the logs, but we can add as many prefabs as we want. We can have trees drop as many different objects as we want. We just have to make sure that we know the numbers. So just as long as we know about what index number we have there, then we will know which item should drop. And that's about it.